Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jamiea, aka Miea's podcast, a place where we learn, heal, and grow together. On our last episode, we learned how to manage what God has blessed us with. On today's episode, we are learning about restoration, trusting that God will restore what we have lost. Listen as I read Luke chapter 5, verse 1 through 11. Jesus calls his first disciples. One day, as Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, the people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. He saw at the water's edge 2 boats left there by the fishermen who were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little from shore. Then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we have worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. And so were James and John, the son of Zebedee, Simon's partners. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people." So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. Let's learn about Peter. Peter was in debt because of his gambling issue. He was at a loss, and if he didn't turn in fish, which was considered money in his days, he was going to lose everything he owned. Peter went out fishing all night, but caught nothing. He was close to losing everything, and then Jesus came near. At first, Peter was fishing on his own. He did not have Jesus' help. Know that without Jesus, things will fail no matter how hard we work. Jesus already knew what Peter needed before Peter even spoke to him. Jesus sat on Peter's boat and taught the people. Then he turned to Peter and told him to cast his nets down. Peter already had little faith. From his point of view, there was no hope. He had fished all night and caught nothing. He explained that to Jesus, but then said, "Since you say so, I will." Even in doubt, Peter had enough sense to obey, trusting that Jesus' judgment was better than his own. Peter cast down his nets, and suddenly they filled with fish, so many that 2 boats were overflowing. Peter was shocked and grateful. He dropped to his knees and confessed that he wasn't worthy. But Jesus calmed him and told him, "From now on, you will be fisher of men." With Jesus' help, Peter's debts were cleared, and his life was changed forever. He became a disciple of the Lord. So know this. Know that restoration doesn't come from our own will, but from God's will. If God did it for Peter, don't you have enough faith that God will do it for you? God will restore everything you lost. God already knows what you need. before you even speak. So I ask you, once God restores all that you have lost, will you completely surrender and follow him? There are times when we experience loss. We may lose relationships, finances, health, opportunities, stability, and so much more. In the middle of that loss, we often try to fix everything on our own, out of our own will. But imagine being a flat tire on a bike, still trying to row. You can't go anywhere, right? You're a flat tire. Everything comes to a complete stop. Knowing you can't make a difference on your own can feel defeating. But when you call God into your storm and ask for his guidance, trusting that he will make things right for you, that is when you will begin to see your life come back together. God will restore your stability, your health, your relationships, your finances, and everything else that you have lost. But his restoration comes with one requirement, which is to follow God. To follow him means to not only walk in his way, but also to become fishers of men, bringing more people to God. You can trust God enough to restore you, and he is trusting you to help save others by pointing them back to him. With that being said, I pray that God restores everything you need in your life, everything you have lost. Because once he restores it, you will see that just by your small amount of faith, God could change your life. All he says is, all you need is faith as small as a mustard seed. That's all you need. And once you have that mustard seed, trust that your life will be changed, because God can do the impossible. So trust God and know that he will restore everything that you have lost. Thank you for watching Jamiea, aka Miea's podcast, a place where we learn, heal, and grow together. Know that God will restore everything in your life, and I pray you have a blessed week. See you next time.